Hi guys.
Hello everybody.
I'm just putting this blanket on for modesty.
It's called a modesty blanket.
It's a modesty blanket. I did get a message, an email from my grandma saying that she watched the Paris video.
Yeah.
However, you were able to see up my skirt.
Yes.
During the first bit, and I said that wasn't really the point.
It wasn't really what you should have been looking at, Grandma.
It was the subject matter.
But if you do want to go and watch Leah's knickers, we will link it up in the cards above. Actually,
here.
it's above my head because I'm sat on your side.
Oh my gosh, what is this?
Yeah.
Controversy.
Leah and Joel.
Leah and Joel today.
But anyway, as you know, as some of you loyal viewers will sense, that we are in our apartment in New Jersey, which is just sort of not that far from New York, our New York trip, basically.
Yeah.
So this video, as you can tell by the title, is going to be about comparisons between New York and London.
Yeah, and I'd love to wear a Skinny Legend hat, if I may.
Yes,
Thank
which
you.
one?
Just the black one, that's right
Cool.
there. So a lot of people have said to us, oh, what's the main differences between New York and London?
Yeah.
How are you guys finding it? Are you missing home? I'm going to ditch it just because of the light.
Okay.
Not because I don't like it. I absolutely love it.
Yes.
Link in description. I think it's sold out. But yeah, I just think we should touch on a few things. So like the vibe here, transport, and the size.
Yes.
So
I think we should start with the size because it's the most maybe obvious one.
Yeah.
New York feels so much bigger than London, and I guess it is so much bigger than London.
So overwhelmingly big. Like it's not like everything's a walking distance away.
No.
You were saying like in London, if I'm in Marble Arch and you're in, I don't know, Holborn, we can just walk it.
Yeah, and like I can walk from where I live in London, which is fairly far out, to the centre of London within about 2.5 hours. If I was to walk the length of Manhattan, that alone would probably be 2.5 hours, let alone going into Brooklyn, Queens, all the other places.
All the neighbourhoods. Like one night we walked like 35 blocks home.
Yeah.
And we were just like, cool.
Crazy.
Not home, that was just to the station in order to get home. And people that we were stopping people for directions because we didn't have internet on our phone. And we were like, well, just checking we're going in the right way. And they were like, just get on the metro.
Yeah. They were like, it's about a half-an-hour walk. We were like, are you joking? That's like nothing.
That's nothing.
They were like, no, you want to get on the subway. We were like, no, we're Londoners, we walk everywhere.
We're like, we're not Skinny Legends for nothing, you know?
Yeah, exactly. We've got to do 16,000 steps a day.
Minimum.
Minimum.
Literally. So funny when we met that viewer today and she only does like 3,000 steps a day on her phone.
Oh,
she's so sweet.
She was so lovely. But yeah, so size, I think that's a big thing.
It's like, if you have to get the metro everywhere, how much do you really want to, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it kind of, every time I go in my maps, it's going to take us an hour to get anywhere.
No,
so we'd finish up at a meeting and then we have to allow sort of like 45 minutes to an hour to get to the next one.
Yeah. So it's just a bit time consuming. But talking about transport, that's the next big thing.
Yeah.
And I definitely 100% believe that London wins on this one.
London wins.
I've been told that London has the best public transport system of any city in the world, and I'm starting to see that. Went to Paris, the metro doesn't compare. Awful. New York, the subway doesn't come close. Like
Berlin doesn't compare.
It's
Germany.
insane.
Like, but London, it's not until you know when they say you don't know what you've got until it's gone.
Yeah.
You don't know what you've got until it's gone.
I didn't think anything of it. I'm just like, well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm here, like, you go on some of the platforms on the subway, there are no electronic boards saying the next train will be in 2 minutes, the next train will be in 4 minutes, the next train will be in 8 minutes. Like, you don't get that information.
No.
The only things it wins at are the fact that the trains are all aircon.
Aircon train.
Yeah.
Or AC, because I know the word aircon is triggering some of you. I've had some comments about that. Yeah, they were like, if they say aircon one more time, I'm going to shoot myself.
AC.
I know. I was like, okay, AC then.
It takes the same amount of time to say AC as it does aircon. Same syllables.
Yeah, so don't
get over yourself. You triggered Skinny Legends.
Getting so triggered, you lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so aircon wins.
Yeah.
We get on the tube and we sweat. You guys get on the subway and you
de-sweat.
Yeah, you de-sweat.
De-sweat.
You de-sweat.
But in terms of the platforms, everything's dirty, everything's smelly.
Someone was like, have you seen any rats yet? Seen loads.
Yeah, loads of rats.
So many.
In London, you see mice.
These tiny little mice, and they're adorable. I always put them on my story.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just think it's just general. The transport is a lot better in London.
Yeah.
I also think it's less confusing, but I don't know if that's just because I am a Londoner and I've got used to the system. But I genuinely think it's less confusing. There are maps everywhere.
Yes, there's maps everywhere, but there's one really annoying thing about the subway, and that is if you make a mistake, you have to pay again to get back on and fix it.
Yeah, you have to exit and then swipe your Metro card again.
That is so bad.
Yeah, in London, you don't do that.
You don't. You just literally get out of the next one, walk over the stairs, down to the other side of the platform and go back to where you came from. But you can't do that in New York without coming out and then swiping back in.
And it is cheaper. It's like $1 something, isn't it, per journey, regardless of your length of journey. Whereas in London, it's judged by zone, and the minimum fare is like £2-3.
Is it?
Which is like $4 or $5. So it's like...
Is that the minimum fare?
I think so.
I thought minimum fare was like $1.85.
That's if you're a student, because you're linked with your under 25.
Yeah. Interesting.
But if you're not, like me, then you've got to pay full fare, which is like £2.30 minimum, I think.
£2.30, yeah, on the zone.
On the
zone,
zone,
1 to 3 or something, yeah.
But linked on from that is the Metro card. Oh my gosh. We have contactless, so you can use your bank card. You just tap it in and you go in.
Beep.
Or you can use your Oyster card, tap it, or you can use a paper card if you have to, if you're a tourist. Here, your Metro cards are just flimsy paper, and you have to like swipe it through a groove.
Yeah. Swipe it through a groove.
Swipe through a groove.
Swipe it through a groove.
Can you believe you've got to swipe it through
the groove?
But also,
and they all expire.
They expire.
So then you lose your money on these cards that are not
and
even cards.
And you then have to get another one.
And there's all this paper, just loads and loads of paper.
No.
And Mina was showing us like 10,000 bits of paper. She was like, oh, one of these won't have expired. And you're just like...
I can't believe it. They
2018.
2018. Why haven't you got electronic boards? Why haven't you got like contactless or like... Just make it easy for people.
Anytime something triggering, anytime something triggers us, we literally look at each other and go, 2018.
Like seriously.
We get onto the platform, there's no signs, there's no nothing. We've got no idea how long it's going to take for a train. We haven't got an app because we haven't got the internet. We just go, 2018.
That's also triggering to Americans because they say 2018. They're like, I can't believe you say 2018. But that's how Brits say it.
2000, and that's going to be in the merch lines every single year. Right now it's 2018. Next year 2019.
The next year will just be 2020. 2020.
That's going to be so weird.
Yeah,
it's 2020. It's 2020.
Oh, I don't like that.
I don't like that
means
at all.
become Americanized.
Yeah,
we're losing our Britishness.
Are we losing it? 2020.
We love being basic Brits.
Basic Brits. Every day, basic Brit face. Oh my gosh, like today when I just pulled that chair away, I forgot to ask the woman, is anyone sitting there? I just took the chair.
That was so funny.
I've never been any less British in my life.
Yeah, you just like grabbed it and she was like...
Someone had come to say hello to us and we were on a 2-seater and I was like, pull up a chair, and I just grabbed the nearest chair that was like connected to a bigger table, and then like this woman looked over and I was like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Was that chair available? Like, was it? And then before you know it, I've created a scene in Panera Bread.
I know.
And I made such a scene.
Of course you did.
I just kept apologising, and then she was like, it's fine. Like, it's genuinely fine. It's fine. And I was like, I was profusely apologising.
So what about the people? The last thing. The difference between the vibe and the people, things like that.
We've said it a few times. I think the pace is slower.
I do. I don't know if that's just because the city's more spread out.
Yeah.
So it's less intense, less people in one space.
Yeah.
But it does feel less busy.
Yeah, it feels less like London chaos.
Like, get out my way.
Get out of my way. I'm going, maybe, okay, we haven't travelled in at 8 AM for a 9 o'clock start sort of thing.
But I do think
London's
Americans,
like that all the time.
And even New Yorkers, who lots of Americans say New Yorkers are the rudest Americans,
yeah.
I still think they're more patient than Londoners.
Yeah, they're quite patient. They're quite patient. The road.
Yeah. Like if you get in the way of their car, they might honk, but they won't be like angry or like revving their engines. Whereas in London, they might not even stop. They'll just like try and scare you. They'll just hit you. Londoners they huff, they puff, they bash you out of the way. Like
they'll never say anything, but they'll just go.
Yeah. Or they'll swear at you under their breath. Like I think Londoners are more passive aggressive than New Yorkers.
In our neighbourhood where we are here in New Jersey, there's actually quite a nice community vibe. Like a lot of people, someone said good morning to us when we were walking.
Yeah, and we were like
wow.
Morning?
Like a few dog walkers were like, good morning, morning. We were like,
that was nice.
Hi.
Also, everyone here thinks we're Spanish.
Everyone in
so
our
many times they're like, do you speak Spanish? And I'm like,
a little bit.
A little bit.
But not, maybe not enough. Yeah, no one assumes we're like British, English. Everyone's just like, they must be Spanish.
Yeah.
In fact, a few people are like, do you speak English as well as Spanish? Like, we're like, no, just English, no Spanish.
It's so funny.
Really funny.
But I think in terms of the buildings I love. They're so tall, so big, and they're just very New York.
They're very New York. Love all of the just the outside staircase things.
Yeah, the outside, the fire escape.
The fire escapes, that's it. They just look so cool. And obviously they're really useful. Yeah. But they just look great.
Yeah.
They're really, really cool.
It's cool. I think,
I would live here for a bit if I could have my own washing machine.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the idea of taking my laundry over the road and waiting in there, wasting my time.
It's really weird that people don't have washing machines in their apartments.
Yeah, and it's apparently not that unusual that in New York you might not really have like much kitchen stuff either, like no hob, because there's food, everyone just buys food.
Yeah, it's true, but that's quite triggering to Brits. Also, like the kettle debacle. Americans
I don't know if I
have
want
kettles.
to talk about it again.
It's okay.
Just the kettle thing.
Just a kettle, just tea. Brits love hot tea. We boil it in an electric kettle, but people don't really have electric kettles here.
Yeah.
There's just a few differences. I wouldn't mind spending an extended period of time here, maybe like a couple of months max, but I couldn't live in New York. I'd miss London too much. I love walking in London. Yeah. I love the aggressive people in London.
Yeah, I already miss London quite a bit actually.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But yeah, I have really, really, really enjoyed New York. Every time we walk, we're seeing something new.
Yeah.
Whereas like in London, we do just kind of, we get out of Soho, we've got our meetings, same stuff, same surroundings. We've seen loads of new stuff. I actually really like finding our way somewhere. Yeah. And then when we find it, we're like,
we're New Yorkers.
We found it.
Yeah, it's so satisfying. Yeah. I think my favourite area so far has been Chelsea. Yeah. That's where I've moved to if I moved here. Lots of dogs everywhere.
Lovely. Yeah. So nice. Yeah. So nice. Yeah, we've explored quite a few places, but and a lot of people are quite worried for us when we were in Brooklyn, but I did really enjoy down like in Williamsburg where we went to the festival. There were so many like cool arty people there. Love that area. Love Chelsea. Yeah. I even loved being in the Lower East Side as well. I thought it was very hip.
Very hip. But yeah, we moved to Brooklyn in 2 days from now. But by the time this video is up, we will already have been gone from Brooklyn. Yeah, hopefully we'll have survived.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Because so many people, when we say that, they're like, oh no. And we're like, what's so bad about Brooklyn? Thousands and thousands and thousands of people live in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but thanks for everyone's concern. It's actually really, really nice.
No, it's good to know.
Yeah, especially after Paris. You know, we're super on high alert all the time.
Oh, definitely.
It's, you know, it's a lesson that you just, cool. Anyway guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, press the notification bell to be notified. We upload thrice weekly.
Yep, and you've kind of said everything. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. London, where dreams are made and crushed and reborn.
In London, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Now we're in London.
Thumbs up for Joel and Lia EP. That streets will make you feel brand new. The lights will inspire you. Let's hear it for London, London, London. We need to get in a studio ASAP. 2018.